Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing on this Friday? Are we on Friday? Where are we at? Yes, Friday. TGIF. Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If you work during the week, this is probably a lovely day for you all. Tatiana, yes, you can ask Sophie. Hello. Margaret, hi. I have Emmy's question. I have Nat's question, Tatiana's question, Sophie's question. Hey, Amy. Nice to see you here. Hey, Rising. Hi, happy Friday. I know it's Mother's Day weekend. I literally went with my guy friends to help them with grocery shopping errands. Oh, man. Guy friends need help. Look, with grocery shopping errands, sometimes men need the help. Hi, Jojo. Margaret, I have your question. Jojo, I have your question. Golden. All right, so it looks like we have a good lineup here for free read. So let me go ahead and get started. First, I have to find my pendulum. Jeez. Sorry about the background sound if you guys can hear the TV. I've been working to try to get my remote working so I can put that on mute. All right, so this is for Emmy. So Emmy, for some reason I'm getting yes, but it's more like a neutral feeling. I don't think it was like they were overjoyed by it. I don't think that they hated it. I think it was somewhere in the middle, but I think it was a positive reaction. Nat, I am getting a yes that you're going on a date or you will be dating in June. I also was tasting tacos during your reading for some reason. So I'm wondering if maybe that's like a date you guys are gonna go on. Tatiana, I'm getting a no for that one. Sophie, I'm getting a no for yours as well. Amy, I'm getting an immediate yes for yours. Margaret, I am getting a yes. Jojo, I'm getting a little yes for you on that one. Galilea, I have your question. Amy, that's funny. Teet, I have your question. Aw, that's so sweet. Amy, that's so nice. I'm glad you have people looking out for you. You're welcome, Emmy. Oreo, I have your question. Nat, you're welcome. Tatiana, sorry I couldn't be more help, but you're very welcome. Sophie, you're welcome. Peru, I have your question. You're welcome, Margaret. This is for Golden Moment. Golden Moment, I'm getting a yes. Galilea. Galilea, I am getting a yes, but it seems like this is not planned yet. But I think there's high potential for this person to come see you. They just haven't made official plans yet to do it. You're welcome, Golden Moment. Thank you, Amy. This is for Teet or Tate, maybe. I am getting a yes for you. This is for Oreo. Oreo, I'm getting a small yes. Peru. When I tell you guys small yeses, by the way, big no's, small yes, etc., it just means the way the pendulum is swinging. So when I get like a big yes for something, I always want to let you guys know that it's a very confident answer. A big no is a very confident answer, especially when the answers come through quickly. Or when they come through slowly, it's really tapping into the energy. So I will let you guys know if it's a confident yes or no, etc. This is for Peru. Peru, there's a lot of energy around your question. I am getting a yes. You're welcome, Galilea. You're so welcome, Oreo. This is for We Vibes. We Vibes, I'm getting a small yes for you as well. You're welcome, me vibes. All right, it looks like we've got some donations coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and post just so everyone knows where they are. Rising was a pre-order, which means that she cannot be skipped. All right, this is for Infinity. Infinity, I'm getting a yes for you. You're welcome, Infinity. Hey, Ashley, hold on. Let me see. I'm over here eating trail mix, so just don't mind me. Rising, if you're in here, you can check in. This is for Ashley. Ashley, does your brother have friends over ever? I'm hearing that this is connected to your brother, but I can't get a clear answer. I'm getting a no, but I feel like this is in connection to your brother somehow. That's why I asked if he ever has company over. Because something tells me that there's something going on there. Like, maybe it was his idea, but he wasn't the one to do it. Or he invited people over, and it was like his friends that took them. You're welcome, Ashley. Ashley, something tells me that they're gonna turn up. I don't know if you're still in here, but I feel like they're gonna turn up. Rising, if you're in here, let me know. You're welcome, Peru. Hey, Rising. Oh, I've got some people in here, the people that probably care. My cousin and I are going to be doing a live stream together. We're doing fertility and love readings together. So it'll be like a collab where I do part of the reading and she does part of the reading. We're both tarot readers. She's been reading longer than I have. And we're still working out the kinks in the specific broadcast day, but we are in the works. Okay. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. So if you're interested, we're still working out like pricing details and things like that. But I'm really excited, and there'll be more on that in the near future. She goes by Cancerian Clairvoyant, and she does have a tarot channel. People probably, the OG people probably know about her. She ended up deactivating her YouTube account, and then she rebuilt it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. She's hilarious. You guys will really love her personality. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Rising, I am getting my cards together for you right now. I forgot to tell you, I know with Eli, the gift thing keeps popping up, and it possibly being an opal necklace. Somewhat recently, my dad went with me to buy an opal necklace. Oh my god, that's so cool. Your dad doesn't normally spend money on things. Oh, that's so pretty. I love opal. I would love to see it. Yeah, it is going to be cool. And we'll do fertility, like for mostly women ask about fertility, but we'll also do fertility for men as well. A lot of the details will include like what gender we see, how many kids we see for you, maybe some additional information about the pregnancy itself, like will it be planned, will it be a surprise, will there be a lot of pregnancy tests, or is it just going to be a very confirmed thing? Maybe a little bit about their personality, stuff like that. So it'll be a lot of fun. And then we allow one follow-up question. I'm shuffling for you now, Rising. We'll allow one follow-up question for each type. So it'll just be a flat rate reading. once we figure out how much it's going to be. And then I think we said we're going to dedicate up to 10 minutes per reading. So it'll be pretty in depth. Like I said, I'm going to do part of it and then she'll do the other half. And we'll offer love and fertility options. We're just keeping it kind of basic to begin with, because like we haven't done a collaboration together before. But I hope it's a lot of fun. I think it's going to be. All right. Wow, Rising. I just read your first question. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see. How is he feeling about this? How is he feeling about this? The tower is out. How is he feeling about this? I'm hearing like mixed emotions because I feel like he's digging himself into a hole right now by not just coming clean. So he's kind of feeling like awkward about it, but I think he likes being in communication with you. So it's kind of like addicting for him to communicate with you under disguise. Rising, it's giving catfish. Even though you know what's going on, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like he's addicted to like communicating with you, but he does feel like he might hit a point of no return. And so he's worried that he needs to stop this facade and be more straightforward with you about it. But he might get too comfortable. That's the problem. I want him to kind of be bold and be fearless and communicate with you properly. It's giving catfish. Why is the tower here? Oh, yeah. How is he feeling? Why is the Five of Swords here? He wants to win you over. I feel like he's here wanting to impress you. And I feel like he feels like he's kind of like lying in a way, and he doesn't like this because he wants your first impression of him to be a good one, not one that could be like deceiving or game playing. It's interesting. I have Temperance in reverse with the Two of Pentacles clarifying it. So this shows that he feels a little bit out of control and in control when he's communicating with you like this. So out of control because he's not being honest, but in control because he's not putting himself out there. He's not risking anything with this right now. So it's like a way for him to be able to have contact with you without fear of rejection because of the way that he's communicating. Have you called him out on it yet, by chance? I'm only asking because I have the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles, so it's almost like this unspoken knowing, like you know it's him, he knows you know it's him, that kind of thing. But maybe he's just maybe he's grateful that you're just giving him the patience that he feels he needs right now before he makes big moves. And honestly, Rising, for some reason, I'm getting the message that he wants to get to know your personality first before putting himself out there, which is interesting. And honestly, maybe a little unfair, but again, this is his perspective. So I feel like if he sees how you communicate, the type of personality that you have, that kind of thing, it might give him more confidence to kind of break the ice with you. But if you have like a bad personality, or you don't handle like inconvenience well, or I don't know, I think he's just trying to see some type of personality show through with these texts that you guys have going back and forth. How do you handle situations like this? Are you a good person? Maybe he's just trying to find a way to kind of get to know you a little bit more with a safety net. um I I'm not here to interject my opinion, but I do feel this is not the best way to go about this. So I want to be clear that as a reader, I read objectively. I'm just telling you what's coming through. It doesn't mean I agree with him, but that's what it feels like to me. It feels like he's trying to feel you out. He's trying to understand your personality a little bit without feeling like he's sticking his neck out there and risking it all. Because maybe they're kind of showing like maybe he wants to get to know you first before he decides whether or not to actually get to know you really. Because maybe he's saying like, if I don't notice positive things about these texts going back and forth, then it's not worth it for me to communicate with her. So in a weird way, it's like he's trying to suss out the type of person that you are through this very indirect communication. You're trying to change the vibe. Well, I'm clarifying the Six of Pentacles with Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Wands. So to me, that feels like a new beginning. It feels like he would like to restructure the way that in which you guys are communicating right now. We have the Two of Cups. But I feel, oh shoot, what was that? Hold on, I lost it. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I feel like with the amount of engagement you're seeing right now is a good thing. Regardless of how he's going about it, it's definitely positive movement forward. And I feel like Spirit wants you to either bear that in mind or maybe feel confirmation in how you're feeling. Maybe that's what you've been feeling, like it's a good thing that even though this is kind of odd or strange, it's good because there's more engagement that's happening between us right now. Do you know what I mean? But as far as his perspective though, that's kind of what he's thinking and feeling about the interactions. But I think that it does feel inauthentic to him. And he seems like the type of person that likes to have face-to-face interaction. So I feel like he does feel like he's kind of lying a little bit right now. And that's like the best way to explain it, is that he doesn't feel like he's being very honest with you. And so there is a part of him that this does get to him. But the communication without rejection is very freeing to him, and I think it can be a little addicting. So hopefully you guys can move out of this place sooner than later, because he's just going to keep digging himself in further and further. And like, we want more authentic interaction, you know what I mean? What I think you do, because you were saying you were trying to change the vibe. And like you said, he is lying. I mean, in a way, he is lying. So, there's that. So, yeah. It's funny because I cut the deck, and I got the Lovers, and I cut it again, and I got the Two of Cups. Yeah. Let's take a look at your second question. I'm getting a no, rising for your second question. I don't think she is. I have the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. So those are both no cards for me. I also saw the 7 of Wands, which indicates this might be more work for her than what she's cut out for. I feel like with him constantly, do you know the expression that before someone makes a decision, they need multiple exposures to the idea? So, for example, someone could say to you, let's go to the Bahamas. And you're like, oh, that sounds great. What a dream. But you're not taking it seriously. You're just like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And then they're like, okay, well, let me send you a link to an Airbnb there. Okay, let me send you flights. Da 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 da. So multiple exposures. So now you've been introduced the idea. Now you're doing research. Now you're seeing prices. And maybe it's going to take like 6 or 7 exposures like that before you're like, wait, this actually could be a thing and I could actually go to the Bahamas. Now I need to make a plan. That's the same way with anything, any kind of sales technique, any kind of, like, for instance, you could want to try a new place to eat. Someone brings it up. Have you heard of this place? No, I've never heard it before. Then you see a commercial for it. Then you hear an ad about it. Then someone else asks you if you've ever been. And then suddenly this idea that was never there in the first place is suddenly this thing that now you want to do. So it's talking about multiple exposures. And it kind of points you in the right direction. So where I'm going with this is that now the first time he rejects her, she doesn't take it seriously. Then he rejects her again. Then he rejects her again. She's trying different angles. He's rejecting her. He's rejecting her. He's rejecting her. So I think it's going to take like a good 7 rejections, multiple exposures for her to realize this is serious. And so I think with every single time he shuts her down, she's realizing more and more that he's serious. And I think that eventually she's going to give up on it. So I think that she's nearing that point. I think there's been like a good 3 or 4 times this has happened already. And I think that with that being said, she is feeling like less and less confident that she can wear him down again. So I think she likes easy. Personally, I think she likes it when things just come very easily to her. And I don't think that she's going to fight for him, not in the way that we think. If she thinks she has a chance, then yeah, she would. But I don't think she thinks that right now. So I think she's going to give up and move on. So 8 of Cups talks about her walking away. And then the 8 of Swords talks about her feeling restricted by him and of him and from him. And then we also had the 7 of Wands that I saw while I was shuffling. And it indicates she feels like it's going to be more work than it's worth. She would have to try really hard. She would be met with a lot of challenges and no guarantee of a result. And I don't think that's the way that she likes to live her life. So I do not think that there is a plan that she's concocting. I do feel like she might want to spend more time with him and see what he signals to her. But I don't think that she's actively trying to think of something to do to get with him, because I think that every time he rejects her, her ego gets bruised. And eventually someone who has a really big ego is not going to keep subjecting themselves to get rejected over and over and over. It's like the last thing that they want. So it's kind of like a narcissist, you know, when they think that they've got their hook synced into you, then they'll keep going over and over and over. But when they start feeling that resistance from you, they move on to their next victim. What follow-up question do you have to that? And are you guys able to hear me okay today still? Oh, you're very welcome, Rising. So happy to hear that. Love, love, love it. Thank you, Rising. Okay, perfect. I've been having issues with my internet and my audio these last couple of days, so I just want to make sure. Ooh, guys, we're more than halfway there. More than halfway there for a free reading giveaway. Earth Angel, our free list is done for the day. I started putting in the title of the live broadcast when the free reads ends at. So I'm on the East Coast in the States, so you'll have to, if you're not in that area, find out what that is for me. Because I've had a lot of people come in after the free list is open or after the free list is closed, and I don't want to confuse anyone, so I've been putting that in the titles these last couple of live streams. Just to help the confusion. Okay, Amy. Sounds good. Aw, third grade. Does that mean they're like 8 or 9 years old? I'm trying to think. 5, 6. Kindergarten, first, second, third, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So like 8 or 9. It was me and my boss teacher, Miss Simpson, today watching over 54 kids. Holy crap. That's a lot. Oh, we held it down the best we could. Oh my god. Oh, 9 and 10. Okay. That feels so old to me for third grade. Maybe I was a young student. So let's count back. In 9th grade, I was 13, turning 14. 8, 12, 13, 7, 11, 12, 6, 10, 11. 5th, 9, 10. 4th. Yeah, I think I was 7. I thought I was 7 in third grade. Maybe 8. But I might have been a young student. Hey Virgo, welcome in. James, yes. Yeah, yeah. I was like a fresh age. Like every time I go into the next grade, I had just turned the next age. So there were people that were a whole year older than me until the end of the school year. And then I became the age that they were. Luckily for me, I was a really good student and I caught on to things very quickly. So it never was a um, detriment to me in my school career. But I think it just depends on where your parents think you are. If you're at that like threshold of like starting now or waiting another year, I think your parents just have to understand fundamentally who you are and what you can handle to decide. Because I think some students will get held back if they start too soon. All right, how have Amy's kids at work been thinking and feeling towards her? Oh, that's so sweet. Did the cards or gifts have hearts on them? I see like a gift being given, and I'm like, man holding a heart is here. So this is kind of like showing a lot of love for you. It's really sweet. Even got a couple notes for my bad kids. Oh. Yeah, I think they drew me flowers and maybe some hearts. That's cute. Let's see. How have kids at work been thinking and feeling? They look at you as cool, calm, and collected, Amy. So if you're feeling panic on the inside, Virgo, thank you so much. I will add you to the list, okay? Virgo, are you under a new name? In their papers, cards, and notes. Yeah. So no matter how you're feeling on the inside, you're not really showing it on the outside. You're very cool, calm, and collected. So if you feel like a lot of panic on the inside, I'm getting like Libra energy. You're very balanced, you're very fair. And I don't think that you lose it. And if you feel like you're overreacting in action, it's not coming across that way to your students. Okay. Is that SB, Virgo? Are you SB? Okay, so I feel like with that, Amy, is that you're coming across very positively to your students. Oh, you're a Libra. There you go. So I've got like the contract Libra card, very balanced. So I think that sometimes we'll get very flustered underneath the surface. Hey, girl. We'll get very flustered underneath the surface, and we were like, oh, my cheeks are getting hot. Oh my God. Like, and you're trying to really like keep composure and make sure that you're not overreacting. And so because you're the only one that can hear your thoughts, you don't realize that the only thing other people see are actions. But you're feeling thoughts, feelings, and actions. So for you it can feel like over heightened, but for them they're just seeing the way you're reacting to things, and the way you're reacting is very calm. Now, you might be stern, you might be, like not strict, but yeah, stern. That's a good word. You might be stern, but you're not necessarily like in your head, you're probably like, these fucking kids. But out loud, you're not like reacting in that way. So I just want to be clear with that, what I mean by it. James, I have your first question and your love option 2. And your second question. Thank you, James. I'll timestamp you. Because when my kids panic or have a rough emotional time, I try not to show my panic too much outwardly. Yes, exactly. That's so true. In my head, I'm like, oh my God. I am stern but kind. And so there's that balance being shown, Amy. And so whatever this message is from spirit is just have peace in knowing that you're okay. You're not coming across any kind of way where these kids are going to have resentment towards you or be like, Miss, so and so, whatever you go by, was really mean today. Like, I don't think they're thinking that way. And also, kids, keep in mind, kids feel love, and I'm probably getting this message because they are feeling your love through the fact that you actually care enough to put them in their place. Kids want that structure because they feel cared for through that structure. Even if they're defiant, even if they come across frustrated, or if they're unhappy with what you're saying, to their nervous system, they feel loved by you because you're adding structure and care enough to put them in their place. So, oh, I'm like getting emotional. That's so sweet. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a lot of love here. And I feel like they feel that way by you. You treat them all the same. It doesn't seem like you have favorites. And you might give extra quote unquote care to those you say are like my quote unquote bad kids. I feel like you might give them extra attention and extra love, which is probably what they need. Especially because when kids are acting a certain way or acting out, well, I would say everyone needs equal love. I'm not going to sit here and cherry pick, but they might need extra attention by you. And so it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But I definitely see with the man holding a heart, it's just that feeling of care for you, respect for you. Just keep in mind that everyone has bad days and sometimes it's not going to go 100% perfect, but it doesn't mean that through whatever it is you're doing is going to alter their opinion of you, through one action. um let's see. Yes. Bless. Yeah, I do worry about that. Like, my kids will react yelling mad at me, and I still talk to them like, hey, you do not yell at me when I'm just talking to you. I need you to not yell at me and breathe. Yeah. Helping them understand their feelings, but knowing what they can and can't do is important. And I think that we did touch on that at one point. That was a spirit message that came through, was that basically the way that you handle them is giving them constructive ways to express themselves and feel their feelings with validation, but not act inappropriately. So that's very clear here that that is something that you do with them. But kids are going to act out. We got to keep in mind adults act out. I mean, it's a part of life. We're learning. And so yeah, so let me keep pulling. Hold on, I got a couple more cards for you here. Let's see. So I have the world. I'm going to take that quite literally, that they think the world of you. You help keep them grounded as well. Make them feel like they have a soft place to land. I have the first chakra and the second chakra as well. So something tells me that there are some kids that kind of have things feel very like non-anchored, maybe in other areas of their life, maybe the daycare provider that they go to, or maybe things at home feel very chaotic. But I feel like you help them feel more grounded. Like, and what I mean by that, just to put it in layman's terms, is that there's a consistency with them that you offer that for a lot of them I don't feel like they get outside of your classroom. So coming back to you, knowing that that's a constant, is key and important, and I think it's really helping them. We also have the Healer of the Ages card. So this card in particular can talk a lot about how um, they view you as a compass. They view you as someone that they can always come back to. It has a picture of Jesus on it. So, you know, whenever you're frustrated, down and out, feel like the world is against you, you know, a lot of people come back to their faith. They come back to the center, whatever their religion is or non religion. If they have a belief in a greater power, a lot of the times when things feel very out of control, that's where they come back to. And so I'm not saying that they look at you as God, but I am saying that you're that type of person where I feel like if things feel very out of control for them, they know that they can come back to you and get that reassurance that they're looking for. Um, and also, it is the Healer of the Ages card, so it's very possible that um, they look to you as someone who can make them feel better. That sounds good, Amy. Whenever you're ready, we'll get started. Can I ask, what does Kendall and Crystal think and feel towards me now since we've been bonding more? Amy, I think that's great. It might be really hard to do that actually, especially because that's your common ground. But I think that that's a really awesome thing to do, especially if you're trying to develop friendship with them outside of him and outside of his memory. Not that you're not, you know, not that you're forgetting him, but sometimes you have to establish a relationship outside of the one thing that brings you together. You have to find other areas of common ground. So by eliminating that as a topic of conversation, it might help establish a stronger connection between you guys, especially if a friendship is what you're trying to foster here. Yeah, that's perfect. All right. All right, they're feeling more of an intimacy with you, Amy. So, what this tells me is that they're feeling like they're getting to know you more on a personal level. They could feel closer to you as well. I feel one of the things that they really like about you is your compassion and your intuition. Sometimes, Amy, you can be extremely intuitive, almost to the point where you're anticipating someone else's needs or thoughts or desires, and they are picking that up, but it's coming through as a very positive thing. And you know what's crazy? Crystal and Kendall could become a low key thing, them dating each other. Oh my god! Because Crystal actually talked to me that her and Kendall had a talk if they were okay if things develop. Oh, that's so nice. We also have the North Node here, so that tells me that they feel almost like this meant to be friendship starting with you. Maybe they didn't really realize it at first, but it's coming into their awareness that this could actually be a friendship with you that will be a long-term friendship, or it could be. I feel like they feel a greater purpose being friends with you. And Crystal said to him, Kendall, that it's not that she doesn't like him, but she's unsure and scared of how much she's gone through in her life. Oh, wow. It's crazy. You should tell them to come get a reading from me. Like a couple's reading. Like if they were to have a relationship, what would that be like? I've only ever done that one other time, but it was a lot of fun. Let's see. That is so crazy, Amy. You have the North Node and the South Node in this reading as well. So I think that that means that through this friendship, everyone is becoming more enlightened. You're realizing through this friendship that you're growing individually, that there's a lot of self development that's happening through this friendship. And I told Crystal she's unsure about things, especially with her grieving Eli. I told her to take it day at a time. Yeah, that's good advice. And see where things lead and focus on healing. No need to rush to make decisions. Yeah, I mean, like, he's always going to be there, you know, unless he starts talking or dating someone else. But even if that happens, that just means that it wasn't meant for her right now. I feel like they put a lot of value on this friendship with you as well. Um, I feel like there's this, it's not dependence or codependency. I want to be clear. It's not like that, but there's this reliance that you guys have on one another that feels like you value what each other has to say. You guys give really good advice to each other. There's a lot of cherishing or appreciation, and recognizing there's like a specific word I'm trying to pull here from the ether. Give me a second. I just feel like you guys don't take each other for granted. I suppose that's where I'm trying to go with this. That you see the worth within each other. Maybe the friendship is establishing your own self-worth as well. But you're adding value to them. You're adding value to their life. Yeah, I can feel it, Luna. Like last night I did a mini celebration for Crystal's belated birthday. Made a whole chocolate cake, Japanese strawberry. Ooh, that sounds good. Chocolate strawberry. What do they feel towards Amy? What do they feel towards Amy? Oh, that's so sweet. The last thing I'm getting is that they feel very optimistic about your friendship moving forward. And with the Cancer card here, for you, it feels like you're a very special person to them. Oh, coveted. Oh my God, that's the word I was trying to think of earlier. Remember, I was like, there's a word here that's like cherish, but I was like, I'm trying to find it and I can't find it. You guys don't take each other for granted. Coveted, that's the word I was looking for. Like it's a friendship that they greatly desire, that they cherish, that they appreciate. Um, and they feel like you're a very nurturing, comforting person, and it's really nice to have you in their corner. They feel very like protected, I guess you could say. They feel appreciated and special, and they like having you around. She told me she didn't even get a cake or be sung happy birthday on her birthday celebration this year until me, Kendall, and my little brother and dad did. And she said it made her day. Aww. It's important to have people who appreciate you, who lift you up, who make you feel special. That's such a nice thing you did for her, Amy. For my in-depth just paper messages from Eli, we'll just see it comes through because I've been missing him just a lot in certain periods, like before I go to sleep. I'll try to remember how it felt. Oh. Yeah, I can imagine. They say that it's like really difficult to remember. Like it's like as they start to fade away, their feeling, the way they sound, their face even, it might be like hard to remember things, which is actually really sad to me, but it makes me wonder if it's just the way of your body trying to protect yourself from like the grief being too overwhelming and too strong for long periods of time. Because you know, like when it just happens, it's so fresh, it's so hard to move through. But that's because you still have things of theirs around. You can still smell their cologne in your bathroom. You can, um, you know, their dirty laundry is still there that you haven't washed yet, stuff like that. And it's just like all fresh. But I think that over time as you grieve, it's almost like a protection or a coping mechanism that you psychologically start to forget certain things, and it's just a way to like make it so that you can actually like live, you know. It's tough though, um especially for you and me. I don't know what's harder. I don't know, like maybe it's harder to lose someone you got to live a life with, but I can imagine it's also very difficult when there was you never really got to see it play out, you know, you never got that certainty that you're looking for. It can be pretty tough. Yeah, yeah. My opinion on this, I've actually had this conversation, Amy, with my husband multiple times where those waves of grief that you get after being okay for a while, I feel like that is your person trying to communicate with you. Like maybe they're sitting next to you, or maybe they're walking through you. Because what brings on those sudden waves of grief and immense sadness? Like if it's been a whole year, for example, and you've been holding it together pretty well, and then suddenly something hits you really, really hard, it's like I feel like in those moments we're closer to them than we have been in the recent past. I feel like it's almost like them coming by to say hi, and it hurts so much because you feel them near you, but also they're not near you. So it's kind of like if you have a family member who you love so much who lives so, so far away, and they only get to come visit once a year. And every single day you're moving on with your life, you're making dinner, you're doing laundry, you're working, you're doing whatever, going through the motions. And then once a year, this person comes in and visits you, and you're grateful for it, you love it, but it aches because you're realizing like now that they're here, it's only but so much time before they're gone again. And then I don't get to see you for another year kind of vibe. It's like it feels the same to me. Um, it's just like I think that it's when they're the closest to you or they've stopped by to visit. It's kind of the same like when you have really vivid dreams about them. Yeah. Do you have like any voice clips from him? When my husband's dad passed away, I actually went on his phone and I looked for voice clips from his dad. It was like one of the first things I did because I wanted to make sure that if he had any voice messages from his dad, that he um, was able to save them before they got deleted. And he's so grateful that I did that. And we sent it to his email. We saved it to his phone. We saved it in a couple places so that he'll always have it. Oh, do you know what cologne he used to wear? Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you have his voice. All right, so the first word out I have is sad. Sad. So, um, that makes me feel like he's aware, you know, of your grief for sure. We also have wonder and song. Wonder song. Um, so this could be like a thought of what song reminds you of me, possibly. Let's see. Philomena, yes, I am. I am still taking donations. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like the way someone smells is different. So then I have Amy. I have absolve protection. So that makes me feel, or absolve protective protection. So absolve typically means to let your guard down, to allow yourself to forgive yourself for things that maybe you feel guilty of or you're harboring. So if you feel any kind of negative emotions associated with this, like regret or guilt in some way, I feel like he's saying, let it go, let it go. And also, the second message from this feels like allow yourself to let your guard down, because Amy, you probably try to be strong even in front of people. You try to like hold it back sometimes when it really gets to you, and he's saying to let it let yourself feel your feelings. Amy, something okay, I don't want to put your business on blast, so let's send you an Instagram message really quickly. Okay, so I sent you two things that I got. That way you got that information, because I just didn't want to put it all out there. All right, there you go. I gave you the message. Um, what else do you want to tell her? What else do you want to tell her? Huh? Did you read it? Eli, give me a couple more messages for her, please. Soft baby planning nickname. What? This makes me feel. Hey, Philomena, thanks so much. I'm gonna add you to the list after James, okay? Let me see. Let me confirm that donation real quick. So I got you down for a mini, Philomena. If you want to hang out, feel free. If you want to leave your question with me, that works too. So Amy, there's some type of memorial that's going to happen with your future child. I know that we've had that thought in the past that he might reincarnate as your future kid, but I feel like at least minimally you're going to honor him in memory when you're naming your child. So you might have more than one kid. It might be your first, might be your second, so on and so forth. But I feel like there's something that you're going to name your kid in memory of him. So it might be his first name, his middle name, part of his last name, or maybe because it says nickname too. So maybe you'll give your baby a different name, but you'll pull from like Eli's name as a nickname, or maybe a nickname that Eli had is the name you're going to give your child. Like, for example, if Eli's mom, this is kind of a random mention, but if Eli's mom used to call Eli Bubs as a little boy, that might be a name that you carry over, not realizing, and calling your child Bubs, but you're not realizing that you're calling him the same nickname or her the same nickname that Eli was called. Does that make sense? There's something here about baby planning and names. Now, it does say soft, which makes me feel like you're not actually going to name your child Eli. I not as a first name. I think it could be a middle name, or it could be part, like in a part inclusion. But I do feel like there's some type of in memory that you're going to have for your child that's going to be named after him. Because of the first three letters of your name, that's so funny. Yeah, there's some type of like nod or homage. Is that the word? Paying homage to him in a small way, kind of like a wink or a nod, in memory of him. And that's, you're gonna name your future child after him in some way. Yep, read it all. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, let me see if I can get one more message for you. And then we're going to move on to Virgo. Virgo's trying to throw me off with this new name over here. We have floral receive, pretty and cool. So something about you get floral a lot, Amy. I always thought it was your fragrance or the way that you smell, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe it's because of those flowers that you put out. But he's saying, I received the flowers. I received them, or I received them. I don't know if it's present or past. He's saying they're pretty cool. They're pretty and they're cool, or they're pretty cool, something like that. So I feel like that's an acknowledgement of the gifts that you give. I kind of feel like I'm hearing at night there's like a soft light. Do you have like a night light in your room, or do you keep the lights low in the evenings? Yeah, there's an acknowledgement there about that. I don't know if that's I don't necessarily am feeling like there's a message as far as like a comment on that, but maybe just an acknowledgement that he's there with you at night if that evidence connects with you or resonates with you in some way. Sometimes I find with the paper messages, it's more just like an acknowledgement, to give you information that it is him coming through. Your perfume is Gucci Bloom, which is jasmine. Yeah, I always change out his flowers. Oh, Oh, you keep a light on for him. That makes sense. You know how I got there, Amy? Because it said slow pace light. Slow pace light. That's how I figured out it was night light. Because when I saw slow pace, it made me think of like a soft light or a dim light, something not really bright or vibrant. But yeah, that's how I got there. Sometimes these things are so hard to decipher. You're welcome, Amy. So we're moving on to Virgo. Virgo, if you're here, please check in. Let me update the donation list too, just so everyone knows where they are. Amy, are you gonna stick around or are you heading out? Hey, Virgo. Love read. Oh, I'm so glad that you love my love spread. All right, love spread option 2. Okay, Amy, have a good night. We'll see you soon. It was fun reading for you again. It's been a while. I know when payday hits different. It's like time for fun. All right. Let's see where we're at here. It's your favorite. Oh, that makes me so happy. I actually found it online. I was looking up different love spreads I could do. I do make my love spreads up sometimes, but I can't take credit for this one in particular. I can take credit on how I read them, in my tone and my like who I am as a reader and how I interpret them. But the actual spread itself is on a Tumblr page called Practical Magical Intuitions, and I came across it and thought it looked really cool. So, all right, we are shuffling for you, Virgo. I posted the order of donations in the chat, so if anyone wants to know where their turn is or when their turn will be. And then also keep in mind that I accept the option to pay to skip if you would like to do so. It's $5. Virgo, is it okay if I say your person's name out loud? Or is this something you want to keep to yourself? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Isaac and please. Isaac and Virgo. You said he's a Cancer, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm like I know I was quiet for a minute. I'm trying to understand this energy, so bear with me. Okay. So we have the Fool, the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords, Three of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, the World, the Two of Cups, and the Four of Cups. So, sorry, I meant to say Eight of Cups, not Four of Cups, Eight of Cups. I'm trying to understand this energy here. Maybe you can clarify a little bit. I think the last card has me a bit stumped because it says, will the relationship be successful? And I have the Eight of Cups. So I feel like you guys are doing okay. You're doing well, I would hope. But the Eight of Cups kind of does talk about abandoning plans or walking away from something. And as far as like the position for the relationship being successful, it does have me a little bit nervous, unless it's in the context of we are walking away from any blocks that we could potentially have in this relationship. We're getting very clear and concise about that we want to be with each other. We're walking away from the things that aren't serving us anymore, or the things that aren't serving our connection anymore. That can be like the positive side of it. It could also indicate that you guys feel a purpose in one another's life. But the Eight of Cups itself, just as a very objective card, talks about moving forward or on. He's on vacation, but gets back Sunday, so it's just been low key. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, I'm a little confused about this energy, to be completely honest. Now there is this theme here of like travel. I have it with the Fool. I have it with the Three of Wands. I have it with the World, and I also have it with the Eight of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit, which could indicate that very silent energy between you guys right now. Yeah, you said you won't expect to hear from him till Sunday. Okay, that makes sense. So, so we're gonna go card by card, but I'm just kind of seeing like as a whole what I'm getting. And the Eight of Pentacles is jumping out at me. It was when I was pulling, and um, it's the card of the weakness. Um, I'm glad that he's on vacation. I'm glad that he's enjoying himself. The Eight of Pentacles can talk about like just the things that we allow to distract ourselves from the connection. So I'm going to come back to that. Eight of Pentacles can typically talk about using like work or other things to distract us that might not allow us to put as much energy into the connection that we should. So there's that. But there is a lot of good here. I really love to see the Two of Cups. The Fool is also great. So let's kind of just start from the top. So as far as how they feel about you, we have the Fool. So I think he's here for a good time. He's ready to start something new. The Fool talks a lot about new beginnings as well. Um, so I feel like he's excited to kind of see where this goes. The Fool can sometimes talk about not being like fully committed. I don't know what this shift is. I feel like the last time I did a reading for you, he seemed a lot more sure. And now I'm kind of getting like this pullback, but nothing has really happened between you guys that would indicate why I'm picking up on this energy. It just feels kind of iffy. And I can't tell if that's his energy or your energy. The Fool talks about wanting freedom and adventure. Maybe he's looking forward to a relationship with you where it can be more spontaneous and fun. This is so peculiar. How do you feel? How do you feel about your connection? Yes, Virgo, absolutely. How do you feel about your connection with him? Do you feel like it's as like is the momentum still going the way that it was in the beginning? Do you feel like it's kind of simmered down some? Maybe if you feel like it slowed down, maybe that's why I'm picking up on this energy here. But yeah, absolutely, Virgo, you can add whatever you'd like to do. There's a lot here about planning and preparation. Kind of what's gonna come, when are we gonna hang out, what are we gonna do. This is tough. How they feel, their true intentions. For his true intentions, we have the Two of Pentacles, and this talks about feeling like he's struggling a lot. He wants to find balance in his life. I think very strongly he wants to feel a life balance between his relationships, his romantic ones, his friendships, his work, maybe. His intention is to try to find a good balance. I know before he left, he kept calling and reassuring me. That's perfect. I love that. I do wish he had the ability to communicate with you while he was gone. But that's just because I would love to know that he's communicating with you, but maybe where he's at, he can't do that as much. But I do love that he called you beforehand. That makes me feel really good. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull. I want to get like a fresh deck and just really get underneath all of this to understand this a little bit better. All right, clarify the Fool for me, please. Clarify the Fool. All right, so we're gonna go down in a line. Okay, so what I did, Virgo, I'm so used to calling you SB. I hope that's okay if I do that sometimes. I went ahead and just pulled a clarifying card for each of these ones just to give me more specific details. You said he needs to find balance. He has a lot on his plate, but he thinks he has time. Okay, got you. I don't know if it's my fault. I did tell him I'll talk to him when he gets back. I was also a little bummed about something before then, which is why he was reassuring me. Okay, so maybe I'm tapping into your energy a little bit, possibly. I see here with the Lovers clarifying the Fool that I'm feeling like I have a better sense of direction, what's going on here. So that's reassuring to me that I went ahead and followed my intuition and pulled extra cards. So the Fool clarified by the Lovers now is telling me that what he wants or how he feels about you is a strong connection with you. How he feels is that this could really be a new relationship for him. That's making much more sense. He also, you said that he also has to find balance. He has a lot on his plate and he thinks he has time. He also knows this. So you are confirming that for me as the reader, but I want you to also know that he is aware that he has this problem, that he needs to find the balance. So not only is it his intention, but he also, it's he's noticing it. He's hyper aware of the fact that he tries to do too much or tries to manage too much at one time. And I think that he knows that there's like a set of priorities that he has to try to organize and figure out where, not everyone's going to have an even slice of his pie. Do you know what I mean? His friends, it might go from 50% down to 30% if you guys enter a relationship. He's going to have to readjust his priorities. It's giving like Hermione and Harry Potter. I don't know if you guys know that quote where they talk about she needs to get her priorities in order. But anyways, what you want, I see here is, I think you're looking forward to the future. I think that you know that you have been through a lot, and especially when it comes to your love life. And I think that you're not quite experiencing the culmination of all that, but you're looking forward to the day that you can. You're looking forward to the day where you can say, everything I've been through was leading me up to this moment, and I'm so happy, and I'm seeing my manifestations come through now. So I think that there's like right now maybe not realizing it, that it's not a realization yet, but it is a fantasy. It's nice to think about what that's gonna be like in the future. You said he said that before he left, he feels strongly for me. Yes, so I'm glad we got these clarifying cards. It's making a lot more sense now. Okay, so we have what they want. Okay, what does he want? So I feel like he's coming through saying to you that he knows that he's not giving you as much as he wants to. We have the Six of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So he's made a mental note of the fact that he feels like in order for this connection to be sustainable, to be providing, what is the word I'm hearing? Like, imagine if your relationship was like a physical body and it requires nutrition and sustenance. That's like the metaphor they're giving me, is that your relationships needs nutrition and sustenance. Your relationship needs active, intentional effort. And I feel like he's saying, I know this and I'm aware of this and I want to give more to her. I want to make this right, because maybe right now he feels like, how is this maybe for now it's okay, but how is the relationship supposed to work if I'm not making these necessary adjustments? Let's see. What brings you together and what pulls you apart? So I kind of already talked about the weakness a little bit, so I don't really want to like keep going down that same cycle and repeating myself, but just to be very clear, he is aware of the fact that sometimes distractions get in the way of this connection, that he probably, another message they're telling me is that there are things that he has done or that he's currently doing that were pre-planned before he met you. And so he's just tying up loose ends. Like, for example, I could be wrong, but I'm just trying to explain what I'm trying to say. This vacation could have been planned before you guys met. So this is like a quote unquote loose end that he needs to tie up. So basically he's going to include you in future plans moving forward, but right now there could be some things that he's pre-planned before meeting you or when you guys just started talking, and he's saying that that moving forward he's going to include you in those plans, but there are some things that were pre-planned before we met, and those are things that I've got to go do. Does that make sense? I hope so. You said, wow, thank you for telling me this. You're welcome, of course. The vacation, yes, you're right. So, he's saying, let me just get these things out of my system. Let's go. Let me just do these things that I already planned before you. And I know it sucks because I want to include you in these things, but they were planned before I knew you. And so I'm going to go do these things that I already said I was going to do, but don't worry, moving forward, you will be considered in those plans. I'm like, this is taking me a long time to get through this. I feel like I'm getting the information, but it's a little difficult right now for me. Brings you together. So we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. I feel like he's looking at you as someone that he can build a life with. The Queen of Pentacles a lot of times is what you want in a partner. You want someone who is logical and nurturing and giving, generous, but also very smart, knows how to build a home, knows how to build a life. And so this could be very appealing to him as a strength that you are this way. And again, this is also a mutual strength. So maybe he's the type of person you could potentially see yourself building a life with. The energy around the relationship is Ace of Wands in the World. I think you both feel very happy that you found someone that not only checks a lot off of your list, but also you feel like attracted to. I think there's a lot of concern sometimes when dating, and maybe specifically for you and him, where you're like, there could be someone who's perfect for me on paper, but in reality something is missing. And maybe with each other you're very surprised that they pretty much have it all, that you have what he's looking for and he has what you're looking for, and it's good on paper and in real life. I don't think he necessarily holds back his feelings for you, but as of what's hidden being the Two of Cups is like, I don't think you realize how much you guys fantasize about one another. There's a lot of like fantasy that goes into your connection, a lot of thinking about each other. What I'd like to see as a clarifying card for will the relationship be successful, we did already touch on this, but the clarifying card is the Seven of Swords, and so that makes me feel like there's a lot of masks coming off. We're about to get really real with each other, and this is indicating to me that the release that I was feeling, or the walking away or abandoning, is more like a metaphor for we're not walking away from each other. It's not a physical thing. It's like we're walking away from the things that maybe held us back in the past. Maybe that's your fear, Virgo. Maybe your fear is something you have to let go. Maybe vulnerability for him is something that he has to get comfortable with. The Seven of Swords in reverse indicates to me that all bets are off, masks are coming off, we're getting really real, really raw, putting everything out on the table. Now, I do feel like there are still some things that you guys are going to have to work through. For instance, location and distance and things like that. But allow him to work through all of these things, all these plans that he has made before he met you. Allow him to just do those things, because those were decided, I suppose, before he even knew you, really. And I think that it's something that he just wants to go ahead and get done or get out of the way. it could be kind of also talking about the other connections that he had mentioned to you before, is that those were relationships or connections that he had established before he really got to know you. So he has to kind of work through that process, which hopefully by now he has. Hopefully by now he's told you that he's let that other situation go. But I think the bump in the road before the vacay threw me off, but I feel better. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, so overall, the theme there for that reading was that there is a sense of direction from him for your relationship. He is feeling more clear about his feelings for you. What is he wanting for us in the future together? And does he miss me? Oh, that's so sweet. I'm sure he does. All right. What is he wanting for their future together? Hey, Stacey, thanks so much. Let me update the donation list just so everyone knows where they are. And feel free to pay to skip if you don't want to wait around. We are working on Virgo right now. Since we're currently on her reading, we do not skip. But if you do pay to skip, it will be, you'll be bumped to the top of the list before James. All right, so that is the list that I've got right now. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Virgo, thank you for hanging in there with me during that reading. I feel like that was kind of like a half-baked situation, and I understand now that Spirit was saying there's more information here to understand, and I just didn't realize at first that when I pulled the cards, it was a half-baked reading, and then I needed to pull other clarifying cards to understand the full picture. So that's a lesson for me, that moving forward, if I ever feel like I don't have the full message, to just follow my gut and pull more cards. I typically don't pull extra cards on a love spread. I think that's what hung me up. I usually just do one card per position. All right. What is he wanting for their future together? What is he wanting for their future together? So he's coming through as the Emperor, saying that he has the will and power to create the life that he wants. And so if we're talking about a future together, he's saying that it's up to us. He's saying it's up to us to decide how we want that to look. And I feel with the Emperor that he's including you in that plan. I get that message quite a bit when it comes to the two of you, is that he considers you a lot in the things that he does. And he always wants you to know where he stands. He wants to feel like your future relationship is grounded. I feel like he feels very protective of you as well. He's worried about your feelings. He's worried about you feeling included. He's wants to make sure that you feel protected. You feel protected. So I feel like he wants to be the type of person that offers you that stability. Let's see. I feel like he wants to take on the role for the man, the traditional man. He wants to lead. It doesn't mean that he doesn't care about your opinions, because remember the old saying is that there's the man of the house, but the woman is the neck, and she can turn the head any way she wants. So, you know, women have, to me personally, I feel like women have the real power here, but they just let the man do what he's gonna do. And if you agree, you follow their lead, and if you don't, then you make a point to let him know that you don't agree with that. But I feel like he's saying, I want to be the man. I want to lead. I want to take some of the pressure off of you. Yeah, Emperor is great. He's saying, I want to take some of the pressure off of you, that you don't feel like you have to always be the one making the decisions or calling the shots. So I feel like he's wanting to show up as that husband father material. Let's see. We have the Emperor does talk about like an older man. So I feel like he's saying that as far as I can tell, I feel like we would be really suitable for each other. We'd be really compatible. So I think that he's looking for all the traditional things. He's looking for, you know, the typical stuff that you guys would want for your life. Do you want to buy a house, build a house? Where do you want to live? Do you want animals? Do you want to have more kids? Do you want to get married? Like that kind of stuff that you both agree on. I feel like he's saying that's what I would want our future together to look like. There is this aspect of it might be a little bit too soon. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but everyone innately knows what they're looking for. Whether or not you're that person that's going to help them fulfill those dreams is still left to be said, is still left to be seen. But I think that innately we all know what we're looking for deep down. So I feel like for him, he's looking at you as like a person that he really could see himself building a life with from what he understands about you now and what he's seen. I have here the World. So that indicates him wanting to be in a relationship with you for however long you want him to be with you. The World usually talks about success, accomplishment, achievement. It can also talk about things that are the long term or the end of life. And so he seems to be wanting to be with someone who's like, that he can grow old with. And I feel because we're talking about your future together, that you are someone he sees there for the rest of his life. So there's kind of that message of like, I think I found the one coming through. I think I found the person that I could really see myself with. Oh, what has he told you? Yeah, because I have the strength card here, so it's like 5 of Cups. So he's like, I'm not looking anymore, or I'm not looking anymore right now, or something like that. Like, I think I found the one. And I'm excited to see where this is gonna go. But he is coming through as the Magician. The Emperor was here, so he's saying that you guys have the power to decide how this goes. So long as you want to be with him and he wants to be with you, the sky's the limit. You actually don't really have a limit. It's like whatever you guys want to make of your future, you guys do that together and decide it together. But if you want to know like his feeling is more of the traditional classic marriage house, baby, that kind of thing. Nah, that your wife material. Yes. Absolutely. Okay. I am gonna go ahead and close the list, guys. But with that, if you're on the list to get a reading with me, you are more than welcome to add on to your reading. I'm just not going to accept any new donations from anyone else. Does he miss Virgo? Or yeah, does he miss Virgo? Sorry, that was confusing. Does he miss Virgo? Does he miss Virgo? I am getting a yes, 3 of Cups. He is having fun. I see with the 3 of Cups, it talks about like celebrations, gatherings, partying, maybe having a drink, playing games, dancing, charades, you name it. Whatever he's doing on vacation, he's definitely enjoying himself. But I do feel like there is that element of like missing you. He's having a good time. Is he with friends? Because I know sometimes you go on vacation with like family, which could be a thing. But I see like a social gathering, and for some reason I'm hearing like friends. Or I kept thinking while I was doing your reading that he's with friends. I'm trying to remember what you told me. He's on a vacation, back Sunday, not talking much. Yeah, but he's having a good time. But I will say that he is missing you. I think more than anything, if he could be talking to you while he's away, that would make him feel better. But I think that he does appreciate the confidence that you have in letting him step out to have fun and enjoy himself. It is with a friend. Okay, yeah. So it's like I keep getting that he's with a friend. So it's like it's making him really like you even more that you're allowing him to have that space guilt free to go do his thing. And you're like, have fun, enjoy yourself. I'll see you when you get back. I think is actually making him miss you more, believe it or not. um, because when someone is so confident and is like, do your thing, then you're kind of like, well, what if I don't want to do my thing? What if I want to talk to you, you know? So he just feels very liberated. He's having fun, but I think it's that confidence that you have to allow him to go do whatever he wants to do without holding him to like this accountability of needing to check in with you 24/7 is making him really miss you. I think he's excited to come back, but he definitely is enjoying himself. And overall, to answer your question, long story long, um, is that he is missing you. Before I wrap up your reading, did you have any follow-up to that you would like to ask or clarification? All right, perfect, Virgo. Thank you so much for letting me know that I filled your questions. Um, Three of Cups. Yes, Virgo, Three of Cups. So, Three Cups is like a social aspect. So, he's hanging out with his friends socially or with this friend that he went on vacation with. And they can be doing like some fun stuff, like, I don't know, bonfire on the beach or dancing. They could be like hanging with like other guys at the bar, or they could be playing like video games together. I don't know. It's like some type of like social engagement that he's experiencing, and he is enjoying himself and having fun. But I feel like you're there in the back of his mind though. You're welcome. Okay, so next up I have James. Like Virgo, if it's just him and his friend, you might be third wheeling it because sometimes the Three of Cups can talk about a third party. So even though he's there with his friends and he's supposed to be having a good time, you could be that third party in the back of his head, like that's like a part of, where he's kind of like, oh, SB would really like this, or I wish that I could share this meal with her, or I wish I could tell her about this or that. So it's like, I think you're kind of just there in the background. Oh no, there were more cards. I saw, oh my God, what else did I see? I'm so sorry I didn't say the rest. Yeah, there were more cards. Hold on. I remember seeing the Six of Swords because I remember saying like, I think he's excited to come home though. As much fun as he's having, I think he's excited to talk to you. I think the Seven of Cups was there, and that kind of reminded me that you're in the back of his mind. Trying to think here. What else did I see? There was like 5 or 6 cards I pulled for you. I'm sorry I didn't say them out loud. Sometimes I forget to do that. Oh yeah, Five of Cups was there, and Five of Cups was with the Six of Swords. They kind of came out at the same time. And Five of Cups can talk about like missing someone or feeling grief or feeling distance, being away from someone. Five of Cups is like the ultimate kind of sad card, or like sometimes bittersweet card. Um, there was probably one or two more. I'm so sorry. I can't remember. Yeah, you're welcome. Of course, of course. Oh, it's no bother at all. All right. Have a good night. Bye, girl. Have a good weekend. Sunday will be here before you know it. Okay, so James, I have the Ace of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Justice, Knight of Cups, Three of Cups, and Page of Wands. There's a lot of emotions going on here in this reading. But I have with the Ace of Cups, what she's showing and giving the connection is just like an outpouring of emotions or an outpouring of love. Something that I want to make clear that I feel like was kind of something, a message that spirit was trying to tell me before and I never really like articulated it, is that sometimes when we can get sick, it's kind of like our body's response to an energetic change or shift. And if we're evolving, a lot of times spiritually or intuitively or psychically, we can get sick quite a bit until our physical bodies can get used to this change. So, not saying that's what's going on with her, or that's what's recently happened, but it is a message spirit wanted me to bring up more than one time before, and I didn't do it, and now I'm hearing it again. So, this could be her body's way of trying to catch up with what maybe she already knows, or maybe she's going through some type of self development and like she's just her body's undertaking a lot right now, and so this could come through as like weeping, crying, overflowing emotions, maybe just like word vomit spilling out. The Ace of Cups indicates to me though what she's giving the connection is a vulnerability. I feel like she's it's almost talks about like a breakthrough, of just like overwhelming, just like thoughts and feelings and all of that stuff. And so what it tells me is that she feels comfortable with you enough to communicate these things with you. The Ace of Cups also indicates to me that she's making herself available to you emotionally, or more available to you, because the Ace of Cups is like a newness or a new beginning. And so she's coming through here, kind of opening herself up to you, but this is going to make her feel very vulnerable to do so. Her thoughts, we have the Two of Pentacles. I think with thoughts and feelings is just the desire to be extremely honest. The Justice card here talks about maybe she's dealing with like a mental karma. Maybe she's starting to face like her actions that she's made. Maybe she's facing the consequences. Maybe the guilt is coming through more, or she's starting to just confront these things that she's been ignoring, and starting to like face these things about herself that make her feel some type of way. And so I feel like it's just a matter of her saying, okay, enough's enough. I can't keep putting this off. I have to actually communicate and talk about this. Justice talks about a lot of like balancing, readjusting yourself. Two of Pentacles and Justice is very Libra energy, and they're both here in her thoughts and feelings. So she could be very consumed by this desire to like make things right or set things straight. Her intentions here, I do have the Knight of Cups. So this is talking about romantic intentions towards you. She might just be holding herself back in some way, but the Knight of Cups is, sorry, if I've been saying Knight of Pentacles or something else, I mean Knight of Cups right now, okay? So Knight of Cups is under the intentions. Basically, she knows that you're her ideal person. She knows that you're her ideal man. And she's coming through here talking about that. I don't really know how else to sum this card up besides she has romantic intentions for you. And then for the blocks, or are there any blocks or not? I got a yes. There are right now. And what's coming through is the Chariot and the Hanged Man. So this is very conflicting energy. If you know just very basic understanding of tarot, you know that the Chariot means green light and the Hangman means red light. The Hangman is a stop or a pause, and the Chariot is a green light and a go. So the fact that these are the cards clarifying this blockage is very contradicting of one another, and maybe that's why the balance is here, balancing the scales, needing to readjust. Maybe because she's realizing that she's just constantly working against herself. Maybe she's constantly having to choose between her head and her heart, and it's starting to affect her negatively. To me, it seems like her heart says go, her heart says green light, her heart says just be with him already. And the the Hangman, the pause, so to speak, is her brain going, but this and but that. And I feel like her brain a lot of times tries to talk her out of what she's thinking or what she's feeling, even though I think deep down she just really wants to just let go, surrender, and just be with you. This is a conflicting thing because I think that her brain, our brains are here to protect us. They're here to tell us all the what ifs. It's here to persevere, or wait, no, that's not the word. Persevere. Our brain is basically like our last effort that we have to protect ourselves, and so her brain is going to constantly be thinking of all the ways that this might not work, or how well if I'm with him as a friend, or if I'm with him in a relationship, I might lose him as a friend. Is that something that I really want to do? But if I don't explore this romantic relationship. He could get over me, he could move on, be with someone else, and I'll feel like I lost my chance. Well, I regret that. But, you know, we have all these issues. We have communication trouble sometimes. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't really understand me, but at the same time, I feel like he just sees me like no one else has before. Like, these are probably a lot of thoughts that kind of goes through her mind, and she overthinks like way too much. She really just needs to start following her intuition on things. But this is it. It's that stop go block that we have here. The overall energy is the Page of Wands. So this is indicating that this is good. It's indicating that she's suddenly starting to have a different way of viewing things. So maybe she's trying to take herself out of the equation and look at things objectively and look at things not from what she's feeling inside or what she's thinking, but like from the outside. If I was my friend, would I want my friend to be with Jim? Would I think that he's a good match? If Jim wasn't Jim and I wasn't Patty and these were just two people, would I think that they're a good match for each other? So I feel like it's almost like she's trying to remove herself from the equation as to not overthink. The Page of Wands kind of talks about looking at things from a new perspective to like help her come to the decision or conclusion that she's trying to get to. Alright, I mentioned the conversation I was telling her. Basically. Okay, so we did kind of touch up on this a little bit. Okay, so this is definitely the breakthrough that I have been waiting for, James. It's definitely the thing that I have been wanting to see. She's actually starting to confront her issues. She's starting to realize these things about herself that she's always known, but she's never really acknowledged. And I think that this is the breakthrough that we have been needing for your connection. It's important that she is, and maybe this isn't the first time she's done this, but I'm hoping that it is, because I feel regardless it's a good thing. But I feel like it'll be more powerful if this is not something she does all the time. Because if this is like the first time she said this, she's vocalized this, she's communicated it to you, this feels like she's starting to accept growth. You know what I mean? So it's definitely gonna be more impactful if this is the first time that this has happened. This breakthrough also is allowing for vulnerability because she's trying to talk through these things with you as well. I see the Empress here. So the Empress always talks about growth and fertile ground. Why does she feel the need to keep him at arm's length? Why does she feel the need to keep him at arm's length? Philomena, if you're here, please post your question. We're about halfway through James's reading, so I'll be ready for you soon. She's worried about the future, James. She's worried about the connection. We have the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups coming out together. When she thinks about the future of your connection, she's worried. I kind of touched on this in the previous reading, but maybe she's worried to lose the friendship by exploring a romantic connection and then afraid to lose it all if it doesn't work out, because it's happened before, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys have been in touch here and there, but it's never been this consistent for long term. You guys pretty much talk, I think at this point, frequently. I would say it's pretty consistent, but I don't know if it's necessarily been like that all your life. So maybe she's worried about history repeating itself. She's worried about the future of the connection. Is she going to lose you for good this time if she screws something up? This is very self-deprecating. This energy I'm picking up, she feels very responsible. I think she's very worried about herself here. We also have the devil, so I don't know if she really feels like she can trust herself in a connection with you. Maybe not, and not disappoint you or not let you down. Um, there's a lot of struggle here from her. The devil talks about all the things that stop us from being the best versions of herself. Maybe she feels she's weak. Maybe she feels like she's going to eventually fail or succumb to her inner demons and ruin this connection with you. Maybe she just doesn't feel like she's ready for a relationship. Not that she's not wanting one with you, but maybe she feels like she's not going to be a good girlfriend, or not be a good person in a relationship with you. She could worry about your commonalities. Do you guys want the same things? Do you have the same goals in life? Do you want something from her that she's not ready for? She doesn't know if she'll ever want. The Hierophant here can talk a lot about the things that we have in common. Are we too different? Are we too much alike? So she could be just really kind of overthinking these things in particular. But the main thing is she doesn't know if she can trust herself. She doesn't know if she'll be good enough to you. She doesn't know or she's not confident in herself in these things. She wants those things. She wants to be those things, but I don't know if she feels confident enough right now to believe those things about herself. This is probably the narrative that she's got in her head for whatever reason. How is she feeling about me after our conversation last night? Okay, let's take a look here. Manor, I'm so sorry we're not doing free reads anymore. Our list is actually closed for the night. Okay. How is she feeling about James after their conversation last night? How's she feeling after their conversation last night? Defeated, but understanding she needs to try to make some changes. She feels like you offered her structure, and you were being very rational and logical with her. So while she might have felt like she was completely falling apart, and she felt like maybe she was just kind of all over the place, you were that rock, you were that stability, and you were giving feedback to her that was very logical. Maybe she felt like you were the strong one in that moment, so that she could fall apart. Maybe she felt like you were someone she could lean on, because sometimes when we're in a connection with someone and someone's having a really hard time, you guys can't both fall apart, because then who's going to be the support? So I feel like you were the support for her while she was falling apart in that moment. It's reminding me of this scene from One Tree Hill, which you probably never watched, but there was a scene where there was two best friends. One of the best friends thought that her dad might be dead, and she had to go to the morgue to see if it was him or not, and identify the body. And the other girl was saying, I'm gonna send my boyfriend with you instead of me going, because I'm gonna end up falling apart and you can't be the one consoling me in that moment, because this is about you and this is about your dad. So it's kind of like that, where it's feeling like both of you couldn't fall apart and be vulnerable. She was kind of a mess, an emotional mess, and kind of all over the place. And so she's viewing you as that person that offered structure to her and offered support in that moment for her. Thank you, Philomena. And I do feel, though, that she kind of felt very vulnerable. She kind of surrendered to the moment. There is this like heavy feeling of guilt, James, and I think she's feeling guilt because she knows what she wants with you, but she's not giving it to you. And then also there's this feeling of maybe possible like regret because she's kind of anticipating this like, is this my last chance with him? Is he gonna give up on me? Is he gonna move on? Am I gonna completely ruin this kind of thing? So there's just like this a lot of like heaviness here. But she was looking at you as that person that was kind of like a northern star or offering some type of support and guidance and being that, I guess, that structure that she could lean on or lean up against. I think that she also feels guilty too for even having this conversation with you. There's something here about feeling like, this is he even the person I should be talking to about this? Is it fair to him to be putting him in this position? But he's really the only person I feel like I can talk to. She does view you as like a very dear friend of hers, but also she knows like there's that romantic element as well. So she's like, should I have even had this conversation with him? And so there's like this like fear of you going, what the hell was that? This fear of like you going, I don't even know how I'm supposed to feel right now. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? What do you want me to do with this? Like, you know, and I think that she can kind of sense that. And I'm wondering if that's how you were feeling. Were you like, okay, what do you want me to do with this information? Like, I don't know if there's like some type of vibe of like you not really knowing either. Like, it just seems like a hard conversation for her, and it seems like something she probably was holding in for a long time, and finally it just like she couldn't like contain it anymore. And I think that she's worried about what you're thinking too. She's coming through as the energy of like the Nine of Wands, saying like, are you gonna give up on her? Are you gonna walk away? Are you gonna like be mad at her? I think she doesn't want you to be resentful either. So like there's this vibe of like, what is he thinking? How is she feeling about him? We have the King of Cups. I think that she just doesn't want you to shut off your feelings for her. I think she's worried about that. King of Cups clarified by the Five of Cups. I think she's worried about you going, this is just not what I signed up for. I'm gonna bow out. I think she's hoping that this might bring you closer to understanding her better, and she doesn't want it to scare you away. But I think she's like, it would be understandable if it did. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, James. That's a lot. You'll have to catch me up on what's going on here, but hopefully I tapped into the energy properly for you. Thank you so much. All right, this is for Philomena. After Philomena, we have Stacy, and then I'm signing off for the night. Stacy, if you're here, if you have not left your question with me, feel free to do so. Let's see. All right, I just did James. I did SB. So I have Philomena and Stacy. Stacy, it doesn't look like you left your question on the donations, so if you want to post it now, feel free to do that. I'll be with you next. Oh, Philomena, you just started your job. Perfect. Okay. I just want to know if I'm doing good so far. Let's take a look. Is Philomena doing good so far? Oh, cool, Stacy. All right, I got your question. I'll tap into that energy soon. Give me just a second. All right, Philomena started the job. She wants to know if she's doing good so far. She just started the job. She wants to know if she's doing good so far. Okay, so this is interesting. I have the Eight of Cups and the Five of Pentacles in reverse that came out. So this indicates that you're moving into a better time for yourself. Career-wise, the Five of Pentacles in reverse can indicate restored faith by your employer. So maybe you coming in is making them feel like they have restored faith. You know, kind of when you see something wholesome or nice, they say, oh, my faith in humanity has been restored. Like, it's that kind of vibe. Seeing you come in has made them feel like, okay, maybe this can work out, or this will be good, or they just really like maybe your work ethic, and they're like, oh, this is like reminding me of so and so who doesn't work here anymore, and we really miss that kind of energy around here. But there's something indicating that you have made them feel confident in the decision to hire you. And I feel like it's providing also more stability for you, because the Five of Pentacles in reverse talks about the end of unemployment. So feeling like you don't have to really worry about not knowing where your next paycheck is going to come. I also see with the Sun and the Four of Wands that this is a lot of positivity. The sun is shining down on the situation, lots of happiness, divine blessings, and the Four of Wands talks about leveling up. So you're really finding your place here, you're finding your footing. You are probably in a better place now than what you have been in the past when it comes to employment. I'm also seeing here a lot of sunshine, so I feel like maybe you're being spotlighted. Maybe they're taking a lot more notice to you compared to other people. I feel like this is a good foundation to build your career on as well. Maybe there's a sense of community. My hope is that by seeing this card, it's indicating that you are maybe doing well with other people, or my hope is that if you don't really feel like you're making a lot of like friends with your coworkers, that maybe this is showing that you will down the road become friends with the people that you're working with. Philomena, yes, absolutely go for it. And then whenever you're ready, just let me know so I can get started. All right, Philomena, I got it. What would you like to know for this question? Yes, I finished with the first question. Hey, Saj girl, welcome in. Our free list ended at 6:45 my time, which was about an hour and a half ago. So I'll have to try again next time. All my lists are closed now. All right, what's next for the love life? I like this question. Let's see, what's next for the love life? What's next for Philomena's love life? Next for Philomena's love. So they're telling me, Philomena, that right now things might be on the back burner when it comes to your love life. I think the only way that you really will meet someone is if somehow you connect on a professional level with this person. However, they are indicating to me that whatever time you can spend with friends, do so, because your blessings, your like your spiritual team might be sending divine intervention through your friends, or using your friends as a conduit to get you to meet the person that you're supposed to meet. I feel like there's no, you might know this, but I feel like there's no prospects from your past here. This is going to be a new person. So whoever has, like, basically anybody that you've met and entertained in the past as far as a romantic connection isn't going to be a person for you. Okay. That makes sense because in the last reading, remember I said something about friendship developing through your coworkers. So maybe it's going to be something like that. I had a date tonight, but he wanted to go to a place that has basketball so he could watch the game at the same time. Yeah, Philomena, I definitely agree. That's kind of something that you do to someone who you're married to, you know? Like, if my husband wanted to watch the game, but he wanted to go on a date with me, and we went to, like, a sports bar and got some wings and stuff like that, like, that's fine because he's already dated me. But when you want to get to know someone who you don't know, I think that's a little weird that you would want to divide your attention like that. Pick a different night, or yeah, I don't know. Something about that just seems kind of weird. I do see there is someone who you'll be really flirty with. I feel like there's a lot of playfulness. But I don't know if anything's going to really seriously develop from that. Hey, Fiza. That was the plan once I got to 25. But my live stream is almost over and we're not there yet. So I probably won't be doing the free reading tonight. Typically, once my list closes, that means that that option has come to an end. All right, let's see. What's next for Philomena's love life? What's next for Philomena's love life? Interesting. I do see the falling in love card, a falling in love and lasting card. Philomena, you've never been married before, right? Because something's telling me the first marriage is the forever partnership. When can she expect her forever love to come in? When she expect her forever love to come in? Yeah, I feel like your first marriage is it for you. Once you get married, that's it. When can she expect her forever love to come in? They're saying 1 to 3 years, Philomena. 1 to 3 years. I know that sounds like a long time, but I think career is the priority right now, especially because I got the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, and those cards specifically are career oriented. So it talks about like career and friendship, and that is a theme that I was picking up a little bit earlier when I was pulling cards for you. So some person you're gonna meet through your profession or through your friends, and it might be your friends that you made through your profession is how you're going to be introduced to this person. They're saying they're going to come in between 1 and 3 years, and this person is going to be your forever person. This is the person that you're going to marry and be with for the rest of your life. Thank you, Philomena. All right, Stacey, just making sure you're still here. Perfect. All right, this is for Stacey. All right, career rating. My sister asked me to go into a business partnership with her a couple of days ago so we could earn some extra money. It's a wellness company called Melaleuca. That sounds like something topical. When I worked for a podiatrist, it sounded like a medication that we would give to someone. That's so interesting. Oh, it's tea tree oil. Yeah, I don't know. It just sounded like something medicinal. I was like, it sounds medicinal. They do sell supplements. Okay, let's see. Okay. Is this a good idea for Stacey? Is this a good idea for Stacey? Is this a good idea, Stacey? Oh, they do sell supplements. Okay. It's a good idea for Stacey. Will she make good money here? Will she make good? All right, so they are saying that you're on the right track. Additional streams of income are very important. And so I feel like they want you to keep thinking this way. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. You're doing good. Keep thinking this way. Sometimes when we're offered like an opportunity, like an invitation, it can mean that Spirit is working through someone in our life to get us to do something. And I do feel like this opportunity would be worthwhile. But they are showing like requiring a lot of patience and a lot of effort in order to make this money. So if you're looking for something to be easy, if you're looking for a passive way to make money, this is not it. But if you're willing to put in the work and effort, I do feel like there's going to be payoff here. The Eight of Pentacles talks about working very, very hard. And then we also had like the patience coming through, kind of like a temperance vibe. So they are saying that it's not going to be instant payoff. And it's going to be something you're going to have to really apply yourself to do. But if you really invest your time into it, you can make this as an additional form of income, potentially even your main form of income. The Nine of Pentacles is here talking about how all of the effort you've put in and all of the hard work you put in will pay off in the end. But it's just indicating to me that this is going to require a lot of foresight, a lot of determination, motivation, and all of that. But you do have the World here, which talks about success and achievement. So the main thing is, how much can you really invest in this? How much time? What would your time be worth? And if you're looking for more of like a mindless passive income, this is not it. You said I'm a little worried because I'm already running my business, have a part-time job, and I'm training to become a mind body coach. Yeah, this might be too much to take on. If your sister could suggest to you a passive income, like basically doing like TikTok shop, where you're just you make one video and they run that like an ad on their For You page, and every time someone buys something you get a percentage. Something like that I think would make more sense. Something that you can work on one time and make money over time and time again is definitely going to be more of like a passive income, mindless type of thing where you do apply effort, but it's not like daily dedication. Your concern is valid because the question is, how much time are you going to be able to put into this? So that's important. And also, depending on the other thing, working for another company is that you sometimes have to do things their way. Whereas it's like, are you trying to get more independence? Or are you in like, do you work for yourself, or are you willing to like have to subject yourself to, working under someone else or working for another company? So I think there's some questions to ask for yourself, but I hear Spirit saying you guys are on the right track. Definitely keep thinking this way, but maybe this particular endeavor isn't right for you and where you're at right now in life, but maybe one day or something like that. But basically, Spirit is saying you can make this work. This will work for you if you work for it, but it might not be suitable for your lifestyle right now. Yeah, that makes sense. But see, that's the thing, Stacey, is you could use the money, but you don't have the time to give to it. So that's where you have to think of a way to make a passive income instead, because anybody can use the money, but do you have the time to dedicate to it to make the money that you're looking for? That's the thing. So, like, for example, I worked for an MLM. I was a consultant with Arbonne, and they like basically, and I love their products. I still use them, still order them. My sister and I were actually just talking about it today. I started with them in 2016, so it's been almost 10 years, and I still like say great things about them. The issue is they wanted me to change my character. They wanted me to be someone I'm not, or approach things differently than what I was prepared to. There is money there. I see people making a shit ton of money there. But the way in which they wanted me to go about this was not in line with who I am and what I wanted to be doing. And not only that, but they really made it seem like I was going to be dedicating just a minimal amount of time and with a lot of payoff. And that was not the case. I found more often than not, I was working for nothing just to potentially have a prospect of maybe making some money. And that's the struggle for me, is that I needed my time to equal my pay, and I didn't want to sit here and work for 8 hours for the potential of maybe making a sale. So I don't really know about this company, and I don't really know how it works or how the money gets made or all of that stuff, but that's kind of the vibe for me personally, is that you guys are on the right track. But if you can only dedicate maybe an hour a day to something, you want something that's going to be more of like a passive income. Can I donate for another question about the mind body coaching? Yeah, Stacey, absolutely, go for it. And then I'm gonna finish up here, and you guys will see me again tomorrow. For tomorrow, same time as today. What time did I get on? 6:30? I would say that's probably fair. Yeah, Fiza, probably around that time. So I got on at 6:30 my time, which was almost 3 hours ago exactly. So, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, count 3 hours back, and that's about the time that I'll probably be on tomorrow. I do have to do a test run with my cousin. Thanks, Stacy. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm basically planning with my cousin to do a collaboration. I just threw it the thumbnail on the screen. We've been working on this. We're doing fertility and love readings. We have to kind of nail a couple final details down, and then we're gonna pick a day to do it. But we're working on that. So tomorrow night, the only delay would be that if I'm working on that with her, I might come on a little bit later. But Faiza, to answer your question, it should be around the same time or a similar time frame. All right. So Stacy wants to know about the mind body coaching. Okay. Is this better for Stacy to go this route? I love to put more energy into the mind body coaching, like put myself out there more online and build a community. Would this be better for me? So Stacy, the first thing I am going to say is that if you're not passionate about something that you're doing, the money is not going to flow, period. If you're like, it's going to be very difficult for you to grow and get promoted or get more money doing something. And this is a general statement, but it's very, very difficult to get what you're looking for if you're not meant to be there. So at a dead end job when you were supposed to be gone a year ago, and Gunner, stop clawing the couch. If you like basically if Spirit's saying you need to get the heck out of here, they're not going to give an opportunity for you to get promoted and make more money because they think that you're not supposed to be there anymore. So why are they going to give you an opportunity to want to stay even longer? So very much where you're passionate is where the money is going to flow very, very effortlessly. Like for example, what I'm doing right now, doing readings, I'm very passionate about it. I make the most money that I've ever made anywhere else. Now, is it like a livable wage? That's a conversation we'd have to have, but I feel like I definitely bring home more money now than I did before. So it's about what you're passionate about. If your head and heart is not in it, you're not going to do as well, and it just makes more sense because if you're more passionate about it, you're more motivated to do it. You make yourself more available to put yourself towards this and make more effort towards this thing. So it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. If you're kind of unsure about this Melaleuca thing, I think just kind of put it on the back burner, think on it. Don't jump into it with both feet, especially if they're asking for money up front. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as something you might potentially want to do, but maybe not right now. Because you said I'd love to put more energy into the mind body coaching and things like that, to me that shows passion. To me that shows like it's giving you a sense of direction, it's giving you a sense of purpose, and I 100% can guarantee that you are going to make more money doing that you're passionate about than what you're not. As far as would this be a better route for you, I am getting a yes. I have the King of Cups here. This is showing an emotional connection to this thing that you're doing as well. They are saying be aware of people who might try to bring you down. Someone who might try to like steal your spotlight or give you bad advice in order to sabotage you. The more popular you get, Stacy, the more the trolls are going to be here. So just be mindful of that you have to have a strong backbone to do something like this. But the payoff is going to be great because your karma is good. You're here trying to help other people, and there's no way that you can necessarily go wrong with that. Now, it is saying that it's a better route for you, but it might not be able to be your main source of income. It really just depends on how much you can get this to grow. But I do feel like this is definitely giving you purpose. It's giving you fulfillment. All right, let's see about the money. I know this is an important question. So let's get more details about the finances here. Is this going to be a good route for her to go financially? Is this going to be a good route for her to go financially? So we have the moon and we also have the Empress as well. So for me, that makes me feel like there's a lot that you're not gonna know, but I see growth here in your finances. I'm gonna be honest with you, Stacy. I don't think it's like a I think that the money could eventually work for you down the line, especially if you get like brand deals and things like that. But I don't think that the main source of your money is going to come from the coaching itself. I think it's going to be an attribute, but I don't think it's going to be the main source. So I think down the line, depending on how this goes for you, I think that it could definitely have room for growth and be good for you financially. The question for you that I have, I guess, is this what you want to do only? Is this the main thing that you want to do by yourself? And the other thing they're saying is that as long as you're not putting a lot of money into it at first, if it's basically just like your time and you're not really putting a lot of effort into like I don't even know what you're doing. I'm so sorry. But like equipment, for example, as long as you're not having to put a lot of business expense up front and it's more just like your time while you build things slowly, I think that payoff is going to be a lot better for you. It's not the only thing I lead yoga and adventure retreats to. Okay. For some reason, I'm not getting a strong financial benefit from this career. I'm getting more of like an emotional fulfillment and a feeling of purpose with some income coming in. But I do feel the more you get recognized, brand recognition, partnerships, things like that, that's when the money is going to start growing. So they're saying it's going to be kind of dark at first, but eventually the payoff will be great. And I feel much better confirming this career choice than the other one, both mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. I feel better with this choice for you. I think it is a slow boil, Stacy. I think it's a slow boil. Basically, what they're showing me is that I want to make sure you're set up financially with other areas of work, that you're able to rely on those other areas of work. Don't rely on this coaching right off the bat to be something that's going to support you financially. So basically, put the time and effort into it, but don't make it your main priority. Let things kind of slowly build over time. And then I think this could really be an empire for you. It's just not something you can really sink your teeth into and be the only thing you focus on, because your finances are going to get behind very quickly. You have to make sure that you're giving that proper balance to the areas that are providing to you more lucratively. You said it's hard because I can use the money right away. I think, Stacey, if money is an issue, then maybe don't do it right now. Maybe put your focus on things that are going to provide you money right now. That could even include side hustles at the moment. If you really need something on the side, I think so just to round off this reading, the only thing I can see is if people are hiring you to be a one-on-one coach and you're setting your rates, I think that can provide some extra income for you. But if you're wanting to do like coaching videos, if you're wanting to you said build an online community, things like that, I think that's going to be very difficult to get the payoff right away. But if you're building an online community, right, and people really love the way that you coach, they like what you stand for, they might say, hey, do you offer private classes? And then you can say yes, or private coaching, or come up with like a plan for me to live my life a certain way. Then you could strategize and charge people for that directly, those one-on-ones. But I don't really know where your money is going to come from otherwise right off the bat. it's hard because, oh wait, I do have financial stability, but love to thrive financially. Yeah, I mean, we all do, right? Um, I'm hearing one-on-ones. I don't know if that makes sense to you with your career choices, but I'm hearing that if you can charge someone for your time and make a positive impact for them, give them something that they're willing to pay for, like courses, one-on-ones, individualized um, instruction or advice, I feel like then you can make money pretty quickly. But if you're just wanting to build like an online community and be a place of positivity and build a following, I think it's going to be a very slow thing. You're going to have to target people very individually first. So, one on one sessions you can make money with. So, I hope that that helps. Um, I think that if you do one on one sessions, I think that people will pay for that. And I think that that's a way to kind of make some extra money on the side. But I think it's going to be something that if you dedicate yourself to, it can become something really, really big. And I think that it's just going to be hard to see that money up front right away. That's the only thing that I'm kind of struggling to give you confidence in. The only thing would be a slow burn for sure. Yeah. So maybe brainstorm and offer some things where people are going to want to pay immediately. Because the thing is that if you're offering stuff for free, they're going to take what they can get. You have to you have to offer something that provides a benefit to them and they're like, I need more of this. I need more of this. This one thing was great, but it's not enough. Where do I sign up? How do I pay you to get more out of this than what I'm getting? But if you're offering everything to them for free, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because even people that want to support you, unless they're getting something out of it, they're not going to pay. Yeah, so Stacey, I think you just come up with a really great business plan for yourself. Find a way to get people involved, to trust you, to build that community, but also offer an option for them to get immediate access to something that you're offering that's going to provide you some extra cushion in your pocket. And in a way, if you think about it, that's also passive income, which was kind of what I was touching on before. So hopefully this gives you some ideas. But yeah, as far as a reading goes, I think this is where your heart is, and I think that's kind of what you should delve more into, especially if it's something you're passionate about. Yeah, definitely don't offer everything for free, for sure. But they were talking about brand deals and partnerships. I think Stacey, that's like going to be a big thing for you. So definitely focus on building the community, even by offering stuff for free. It's going to help you get those offers later on down the line, even if it's not right away. When they say that people really like you and respond well to you, then those offers are going to start coming. Yeah, you're very welcome, Stacy. Also, I wanted to check in with you and see how you and your man are doing. If that's putting you on the spot and you don't want to share, that's okay. I totally respect that. But I just wanted to check in on you and see how everything is going. It's been going good. We had a long chat and everything's been pretty good since no arguments. Yay, Stacey, I'm so happy to hear that. Oh, such a relief. Okay, well, good. I'm glad you guys are doing well. I'm excited for you and your future with this and with your business endeavors. Definitely let me know if you ever need a reading again. It was good seeing you. And anyone else that's hanging out, I am going to go ahead and sign off now, but you should see me tomorrow. So I'll see you guys next time. It's been a little up and down reconnecting the last couple days. I felt the love. Yes, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you, Stacy. I know you were so worried, so I'm happy to hear things are going well. Well, you have a good night, my dear, and I will see you soon, hopefully. Bye, guys.